and HERO stands for?
Every student at Sage Canyon is taught explicitly what empathy means, what ownership looks like, and I think that's powerful.
To know that for a minute we get to be the people that allow this child to all of a sudden be free and happy and just have fun, it is a feeling that I can't even express in words.
It's my school.
I said, I'm going to be the principal of Lone Tree Elementary.
Half a cup of water from the cart.
I've never worked with such an innovative principal.
If you can get into Douglas County, that's what you want.
She's teaching at the school that she attended. There is not one thing that she wouldn't do for a colleague.
We have our kids back in the building.
When we have those situations, we want to get the right information on out.
The school is currently closed.
Appreciate all she does for our learning community.
We want to make sure that this is the absolute best school district in America for our kids.
Good morning.
If you like kids, then you're going to...
Good evening, everybody. I'm Greg Gochi, principal, and on behalf of the students and staff at Chaparral High School, I'd like to welcome you to our beautiful building. As we begin our 23rd year, we are so proud of our long-standing tradition of excellence, and we're thankful to those that came before us in establishing a culture of taking care of one another and the Shap family. You see, the employees here are not just employees, they're part of a family. And in fact, all of the students and employees in the feeders that feed Chaparral High School are members of the Shap family. I'm beginning my 7th year in Douglas County at Chaparral High School, and after a long, and some would say too long, winding road, I finally found my home. And I'm grateful to be part of such an amazing school and a school district that is unifying our purpose and honoring each school's individual identity. And we are all looking forward to what's next through the launch of this strategic plan. Thank you for being here tonight. Now, if you would please join me in welcoming Executive Directors of Schools for the Parker Region, Dr. Carrie Stevenson.
Good evening. Thank you. I think we are in the wrong place here. Let's see. There we go. Thank you, Greg. I am also honored to be a part of the Shap fam as I support all of the feeder schools, the neighborhood schools in Parker. So thank you for welcoming us to your home, Mr. Gochi. And as he said, I'm the Executive Director of Schools serving the Parker area. I've been in Douglas County School District for 26 years. I have 2 girls that have grown up and graduated from Douglas County Schools, and I consider Douglas County School District my school district and am very invested and proud to work here. Since the strategic planning process has begun, I've been so impressed by the amount of staff and community input that was gathered. DCSD's new strategic plan was driven by our staff and our community, and from the get-go, DCSD truly wanted to hear what was working, what wasn't, and what our staff and community valued and envisioned for DCSD's future. Douglas County is 850 square miles and includes communities ranging from small, rural, to large, suburban. Our schools are assets of our community, pillars of learning and energy where we cultivate the potential of our county. When our students and schools flourish, so does our community. Last March, DCSD gathered feedback by facilitating conversations with approximately 300 community members and 500 staff members from across those 850 square miles. But they didn't stop there. We used the feedback from these conversations to create an online survey which dug deeper into what they heard from the staff and the community members. Over 30,000 teachers, leaders, staff, community members, and students completed the survey. Those survey responses helped shape the priorities of the strategic plan. We heard a strong message during our strategic planning process that student success must be defined by more than academic skills. Our community expects students to find personal growth and fulfillment in a safe and supportive environment that develops not just academic skills, but also the skills to ensure social, emotional, and physical well-being. These priorities were then crafted into a draft strategic plan framework. 30 sessions were held with stakeholders including parents, students, members of the general community, and all categories of employees. Session attendees provided input on the draft strategic plan framework and offered ideas for implementation. This input was reviewed, coded, and categorized by external objective experts. The Board of Education considered the stakeholder input and accepted the recommendation revisions to our strategic plan framework in June. From there, district teams utilized the input to craft objectives and strategic initiatives to drive our work over the next 5 years. During this strategy development phase, additional stakeholder input was gathered and to generate and test ideas. While we are confident that our strategic plan represents the expectations, interests, and ideas of our community, our stakeholder engagement process and efforts are not complete. Each strategic initiative will include a specific stakeholder engagement plan to provide ongoing input and feedback during implementation. Meeting our students' needs at such a deep and intentional level will require all of us growing together to leverage the opportunities of the future, and so our students, our school, and our communities may thrive. I look forward to growing together with each of you, and we are so fortunate to live in such an engaged and caring community. Now, I am honored to introduce our amazing superintendent. Dr. Thomas Tucker has 30 years of experience in public education and came to us from Cincinnati, Ohio, where he served as superintendent of Princeton City Schools. Over his career, he's held the positions of classroom teacher, assistant principal, director of secondary curriculum, and superintendent. And he has been twice named National Superintendent of the Year. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Thomas Tucker.
Thanks, Carrie. Carrie said she was going to hide the script from me, and so thanks for not hiding it. How's everyone doing this evening? There you go. There you go. And you are a very important part of our live studio audience, and I know that we have hundreds of people who are taking part in live streaming. So again, how's everyone doing? Great. Very good. And a big thank you to our folks here and our folks who are taking part in the live streaming in your support of 5A and 5B. So if you see me run around the district with a big smile on my face, thank you, parents and community members and voters for supporting 5A and 5B. Next, please join me in welcoming the Douglas County School District Board of Education members who are here with us tonight. Board directors, please stand and remain standing when I say your name. Vice President Wendy Vogel. Anne-Marie Lemieux, our treasurer. Krista Holtzman, our secretary. Anthony Graziano, board member. Kevin Long, board member. And let's give these two board members a round of applause. I know they're absent. One is ill, the other is taking a family vacation that's been planned for a while. Our President David Ray and board member Christina Chancho Shore. Unfortunately, we have two board members who have decided to step down. This would be the end of their term, and is it November, right? November wraps it up for them, and we certainly want to thank them and acknowledge them for their tremendous service. And I'll ask our great Vice President Wendy Vogel to please come, as well as our Treasurer Anne-Marie Lemieux. Please come up front. Come up front. Now, ladies, I don't have any flowers tonight, but I have a big hug on behalf of our community for your tremendous service. And I'll ask if you would please make a few comments.
She said all the good things last time, so it has truly been an honor to serve for almost 4 years in this amazingly blessed community. And I just want to thank every single person who challenged us and helped us along the way and made this possible, that we get to do such great things moving this district forward. Our kids deserve it, our employees deserve it, and our families deserve it. And so thank you all so much for your support. And crazy enough, I'm going to miss it a lot.
So I'll just say thank you to everybody, especially for the support through this whole process, and it has been an honor and a privilege to be able to serve Douglas County and our students, so thank you very much.
And I cannot believe I did this last time. I did not acknowledge our amazing colleagues on this school board. David Ray, Christina Chancho-Shore, sitting right in front of me is Kevin Lung. Thank you. Krista Holtzman and Anthony Graziano. Honestly, they are the best colleagues to work with, and I didn't say it the other day, and I regretted it the whole time. And I just want to thank you guys, as well as working with my friend and colleague for 4 years, Wendy Vogel. So thank you.
A little later, I'm really going to brag on our tremendous teachers, support staff, administrators, and I want to take this time right now to thank our cabinet members. And I know that they're part of the administrative group that we have. Thank you for the work that you do each day. Thank you for helping to launch this strategic plan. So please stand at this time, cabinet members, so I can recognize you. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And it goes without saying that Marlena and her team in the CIPG area have just put in a tremendous amount of time. I don't think, well, I know Marlena has not slept in the last several months, but thank you for your tremendous wisdom, guidance, and leadership. We appreciate that. Yes. And a big thanks to everyone. Parents, I know you're here tonight. Thank you. You know, this is a great school district, so thank you for helping us to lead a great school district, and the future is exceptionally bright for the Douglas County School District. However, over the past 9 months, we've engaged in an extensive process to hear from all of our stakeholders about their expectations for student success. We've also had authentic and honest conversations about the assets of our school district, the Douglas County School District, which are the strengths we can leverage to support greater student success and the areas we need to improve. We've analyzed data about our district, our community, and other premier school districts. We've listened to our students, parents, community members, teachers, staff, and school administrators at multiple points in this process. On August 20th, our board approved the framework for our strategic plan, which will guide our work for the next 5 years. And we are so fortunate. As a matter of fact, when I came into this district a year and a half ago, the board had sitting there, by way of community input, its 5 end goals. Those 5 end goals sort of been a beacon or a guiding light for us as we have created our strategic plan. So board members, thank you. Thank you for your guidance in creating the end statements, and want to thank our community and staff members for your input as well. The Douglas County School District is excited to share our new strategic plan. Please join me in watching a brief introductory video, which is sure to get you a little pumped up.
Can't believe we're opening. We're open.
The state, completely funded and run by our personalized learning department.
Gets me ready for my future if I wanted to work somewhere so I can be prepared.
This is the 5th Annual Athletic Training Student Challenge for Tatum Reeves.
600 hours of experience.
The 5 colleges that have already accepted her will anxiously await their next star performer.
We're so excited celebrating our 10th year of Wish Week.
To be able to have strangers come to you and say, I'm here for you. I wouldn't ask for anything better than this.
I love you, buddy.
We'll work together to develop and implement a common curriculum framework that is aligned with the new Colorado academic content standards. And you have the resources you need?
Yes. Well, and we appreciate you guys working on that for us, too.
We have been very, very, very busy.
This summer was just the beginning of the work. Improvements will continue for 5 years thanks to the Douglas County community.
This is my 8th year at Mesa.
And his 18th in the district. He was a trailblazer for his wife, Kelly.
I work at Sagewood Middle School.
Daughter, Brittany.
Well, this is my first year in special education.
And daughter, Brooke.
Really, I think I have the best job of anyone.
If you can get into Douglas County, that's what you want.
We have a growth mindset here. It's more than a job. I feel like it's a calling. I'm honored and humbled every day to walk through those doors.
Okay, the theme of our strategic plan is growing together. Please repeat after me. Growing together. Growing together. And one more time, growing together. Come on, let's try that again. Growing together. There you go. When our students are growing, we are flourishing as a community. Our schools will be pillars of energy and learning, destination of choice for students, families, community partners, and employees. We're creating schools where students are engaged and fulfilled as they gain the knowledge, skills, and mindsets to prepare them for post-graduation success, where students are finding their voices and forging their own paths after high school graduation. And as a community, we are supporting them to perform highly no matter what avenues they choose. Our strategic plan is oriented toward 4 priority student outcomes. These are the areas that our community determined are essential for student success. They were not predetermined, our school community determined those. We're committed to measurable improvements on those outcomes over the next 5 years. To build the future of Douglas County and achieve these priority outcomes, we're focusing our work within 6 strategic themes. First and foremost, health, safety, and social emotional support for all students. Our students are our greatest asset, and the well-being and personal fulfillment of our students is essential to their future success. Students need to learn in environments that are physically and emotionally safe, and Douglas County schools will be havens of safety, support, and community where our students can flourish personally and academically. And we also want to not only empower students, we want to empower staff to ensure that our students in our entire school is a school district in which We pride ourselves on health, safety, and emotional support. I'll digress for a second here. In fact, I'm going to digress several times before I'm done in the next 6 minutes. I want to give a huge shout out for our students who are part of the OASIS mental health team. It's a student-run organization at Thunder Ridge High School. That's the students came before the board. I don't know, Krista, how many? About maybe a year ago, seeking support for increased activities, increased programming for students to address mental health. And our board and obviously the tremendous staff at Thunder Ridge High School immediately supported our students and their family. And they received a donation at the board meeting, then later on, and this culminated last week in which they received a $100,000 grant. These are students, yes. To support mental health in our schools here in Douglas County and to serve as an exemplar, not only in Douglas County, but across the state and the country. So again, this means a lot to our students, our staff, and our community. 2, post-graduation guidance and preparation. As a district, it is our job to prepare our students for post-graduation success. We must create an intentional approach to ensure that each student has access and exposure to a full spectrum of post-graduation options. In the emerging future, there will be many avenues to success, including entrepreneurship, formal college preparation, military service, and workforce credentials. We have an obligation to ensure that each student, each one of our 68,000 students who attends one of our 91 campuses, is provided opportunities to learn about these options and understand the path to pursuing them from an early age. And I think I saw Danny Windsor here, and his assistant Joy was with us on Friday. And they've done a tremendous job. And Danny, I know I'll screw these numbers up from time to time, but our taxpayers and students last year saved over $2.3 million in concurrent enrollment. That's money back in our taxpayers and students' pockets. So Danny and Joy, thanks for helping to lead that effort. That's a round of applause, folks. Three, positive and supportive culture. Our teachers and staff are our role models who have an incredible impact on students every day, next to our parents and guardians. They must be empowered and supported by a community of professionals who believe that learning is the key to unlocking limitless potential. And when we talk about educators, we mean all of us. We mean parents as educators, our support staff, our folks in operations and maintenance, our bus drivers, our teachers, our principals, our administrators. We're all educators, and we are all invested in the future of our students here in the district. We're striving to create a positive, collaborative organizational culture where Douglas County School District employees feel respected as professionals and proud to be part of the Douglas County School District family. We've started this work with the creation of our Employee Council and leadership mentorship programs for classified, certified, and administrative staff. So I certainly want to thank Amanda and her team for helping to lead our Employee Council, which is representative of staff in all employee groups, and the purpose is to hear their voices, to recapture their voices. So Amanda, thank you to you and your staff, and certainly thank you for the board in emphasizing student as well as staff voice. And I just left the administrative mentorship program. We know that we have tremendous skill sets that our administrators have here, and they're sharing those skill sets with our new administrators. We have 10 new administrators, 7 new principals this year, and our veteran administrators, I don't know if Greg is here, there's Gochi and Wiley. Those guys have stepped up, and Carrie, thank you. And thank you to our administrators for helping to improve the administrative leadership here in our district. We also have the same with our classified and certified staff as well. I mean, it only makes sense that teachers and other professionals learn from other teachers and other professionals, right? I told you I was going to digress. I'm going to digress, okay? Marlene, am I doing okay with time? Yeah. You know, I have two close friends of mine that I graduated with back in Arkansas who are heart surgeons, and I tease them from time to time, you know, because they said, you know what, Thomas, I thought about being a school administrator, and, you know, I would maybe one day when I retire, I'd like to do that. And I asked them, I said, you know what, can I come in your operating room and perform open heart surgery? And they said, no, if you go to med school and do this, you can. But it's great to have seasoned veteran professionals working alongside our staff. So thank you, and the tremendous work that our teachers have done and will do to help support the growth of other teachers. Align curriculum with flexible instructional delivery. Our children are indeed our future. We must ensure that each student has the tools and knowledge and dispositions they need for success. To do this, we're creating updated, thorough, aligned curriculum to be used throughout the district. At the same time, we're maintaining the choice and flexibility in content and resources that are a hallmark of our district, so that every child is prepared for their chosen future. We're not telling teachers what page they should be on a certain day or in a book. We will never, ever do that. We'll never, ever rate a teacher down on how he or she teaches. Our job is to be resource providers. The job of my cabinet and administrators at the district level is to provide the resources. You've given us the money, folks. You've given us the financial resources with the passage of 5A and 5B. Our job is to provide those resources and support our staff. Again, it is okay, as I've said before, to have an aligned curriculum and for us to teach the Colorado academic standards. It makes sense, right? Because the written curriculum, which are the standards, should be aligned to what's being taught in the classroom, and that should be aligned with state assessments. And if we have that perfect alignment, we will be we will be the highest performing school district in the state and one of the highest performing school districts in the country, no doubt about it. So, yes. And the last thing I'll say about these assessments, we're not going to test our children to an oblivion. We're not going to do that. But if we're able to show a value added in these assessments, I guarantee you, you'll see alignment of what they are taking, these assessments they are taking, with the ASVAB. That's for our students who are going off into the military after high school. And that ASVAB is absolutely difficult. It is as tough as going into taking a college entrance exam. In the early 80s, I won't say too far in the early 80s, but if you do your math, you know what I'm talking about. When I came out of high school, we just sat and didn't even study for the ASVAB. I don't know anyone who just sits and for the ASVAB and not study for it, especially if they want to go in a certain field. So it's our job to make sure our kids are ready for the military, that they're ready for careers. Many of these assessments are aligned with careers. And some of these careers you need to have exposure to a rich curriculum in our high schools, and it's our job to ensure that it doesn't matter which of our 9 high schools our students are graduates of, that they can go directly into work if they want to do so. And then for our students, large majority of our students who decide to go on to higher ed, 2- and 4-year colleges, they should be able to go to college, not only with concurrent enrollment, which credits are already paid for, they should not have to take remedial courses if you're a graduate of the Douglas County School District. Okay, almost done, and I won't deviate but one more time, I promise you. Equitable distribution of resources. Our schools represent our community. Our community is our schools, and we must provide every school with ample resources, regardless of the school, whether it's a neighborhood school, charter school, magnet school. Our students need equitable resources. Our teachers need equitable resources. Through strategic alignment and distribution, we will ensure that every school has access to the essential resources required to ensure student success. In doing so, our teachers and students can be assured of fundamental opportunities and support. Lastly, recruitment, retention, and development of high-quality employees. Teachers, administrators, and staff, again, are the lifeblood of our schools. We need to develop predictable, consistent salaries and systems to attract top-quality talent to join the top-quality talent we already have. And let's give our staff, we have outstanding staff here. Let's give them a round of applause. And in creating an environment where our teachers, support staff, and administrators feel valued, we show them that we really want them to be part of the Douglas County School District family. Again, next to parents, highly effective teachers and school leaders are the greatest determiner of student success. And we thank our support staff, our O&M staff, our bus drivers, our cooks, every staff member, our secretary, every staff member here in the district. We want to thank you for being a role model and playing a part in our student success. So please join us, all of you, please join us in ensuring Douglas County continues to be a striving and thriving community now and in the future as we grow together. Now, I'm sure many of you have some questions and some concerns about the specifics of this strategic plan and what is your role as a parent, what is your role as a community member. So without any further ado, I will ask you to please help me welcome Marlena Gross Taylor, our Chief Academic Officer, to preview what will happen next. Marlena Gross Taylor.
All right, good evening. I don't even know if this is on, but that's okay. I'll use my teacher voice / mommy cheering at football game voice right now. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. This has been a great project to do and lead, and I do want to acknowledge our EDOS. Where are our EDOS? Our Executive Director of Schools, right there, because they've been an integral part. Stand up, stand up. They have been an incredible part of this process and helping me to just learn a little bit more about Douglas County. Here's what I know, though. I want all of our students to have the same opportunities and more than not only what I've had and been blessed to have, but I want them to have the same opportunities as my kids. I don't say much about them often. No, really, I do. I talk about them all the time. But I want them to have those same opportunities. I have a son at the Naval Academy, so you can watch ESPN on Thursday night. Navy's playing Memphis. Go Navy, beat Army, and beat everybody. And then I have one at Penn State. And so I have kids that are doing 2 different tracks, and they're prepared. And I want all of our kids here to have those same opportunities to do those same incredible things and more. So before I jump into our next steps, let me take a moment also to thank our business community and our partners that are rooting for our district. We recognized them on Friday. They also had different things set up. Almost all of them had things set up, giving freebies to our teachers and our staff, and just want to make sure I recognize them because without them, Friday would not have happened. So, yeah. So we had the following support from Pearson, STEM Scopes, Greenway Strategy Group, Discovery Ed, Air Academy Federal Credit Union, ABM, Curriculum Associates, Gov Connection Inc., Master Clean Janitorial Inc., Office Depot, Buckeye International Inc., Kaplan and Ernest LLC, Minutemen Press, McGraw-Hill, Hope Mifflin. Yes, let me turn the page. How many people were rooting for us? Officescapes, School Specialties, School Outfitters, and Centerpoint. So let's just give them another round of applause. So over the next several months, we will begin sharing more details about the actual work of the plan. We are going to start with 10 major initiatives. So if everyone will just get out their paper right here. This is our framework, okay? At the top of our framework, you'll see our priority student outcomes that Dr. Tucker spoke about, and then you'll see each of the themes. The themes are color-coded and for us to follow along more easily, and they're not in any particular order. I can't stress that enough. They're not in any particular order. However, if you were to infer an order, make no doubt that the health, safety, and social emotional supports for our students is number one. So, thank you. So for each of our strategic themes, we have objectives that you can see here. And then under the objectives, we have initiatives for each of those. Phase 1 refers to these initiatives that will be rolled out officially in the 2020-2021 school year. So we have 10 initiatives that will be rolled out then. Right now, we are working on developing action plans, detailed action plans for each theme that you see in the Phase 1. So 10 themes, we have 10 action teams working on those. And I'll be back to share those not only with the board, but our leaders will also be back at all of our schools as well to share what we're going to do, what is needed from each and every one of you, as well as our teachers and our students as we go about this process. The items in Phase 2 are for the 2021-2022 school year, okay? And then the items in Phase 3 are for the 2022-2023 school year. We are going to start all of our initiatives, or that is the plan, within the first year. However, each initiative can last up to 5 years for full implementation. So we do want to start all of our initiatives on some level, but some will last for the full 5 years to be fully implemented. As our action teams complete their work, I will be back to share that with everyone as well as our leaders and back to your different regions and your different school communities to do so. One of the other ways that we're also going to keep everyone not only informed of our initiatives, but also all of the great things that are happening here in our district is with our new DCSD podcast called Growing Together. Any podcast listeners out there? Okay. Awesome. You can find us on Spotify, and I believe now Apple has uploaded our new podcast, as well as Google Play, Stitcher, whatever your platform of choice might be. If you don't have a podcast, it's on your phone, super simple to do, and I'll be happy to show you how to reach that. But we will start communicating through our podcast. Our first episode is already, again, uploaded on Spotify and should be on Apple and Google Play by now. And it is featuring none other than our own superintendent, Dr. Tucker, talking about the vision. So I would definitely encourage you to also listen to that. We have some great things coming up. We will be back. We will be giving updates. We will be asking for your feedback on different pieces of this plan. I can't stress enough, this is a living, breathing plan. So we will be back so we can continue to get that feedback and continue to work together. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. But at this time, my part is over, and I can put on my Navy things and head to Memphis and represent. But I would like to introduce our Vice President of our school board, Ms. Wendy Vogel. Flip your pages for you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Now, I've got like really big feet, but I don't think they're big enough to fill David's shoes, but I'm going to try. So we're very lucky that we have a board president that's so amazing. This really is a remarkable and a historic time in Douglas County School District. It's really cool for us as a Board of Education to be able to see this alignment between the goals that we've come up with, our board end goals, and the strategic plan, which, as you've heard, is that roadmap to get us to achieving those goals. On behalf of the Board of Education, we couldn't be more pleased with how this whole process has played out. From the very beginning with our students, to our town halls with our staff and the community, and input from thousands of survey respondents, it has resulted in a document and a plan that really is reflective of our entire community and everyone who's invested in the success of our students. And that's really exciting for us as a Board of Education. But we're going to ask for your continued involvement. As Marlena said, this is a living, breathing document. And we have appreciated your input so far, and we're going to ask that you continue to give input. It's meant to be responsive to your involvement and your input. And so we're going to ask that you don't just receive this strategic plan tonight, or as like you hear a lot of times as educators will say, don't just sit and get it, but own it and share it and champion it. For the sake of all of our students, our schools, and our entire community. So I thank you all for being here and for being part of this very exciting process. We're excited about the future of Douglas County, and we're glad that you could be a part of it. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a great evening, and drive safely.